Are you living paycheck to paycheck? With inflation and higher interest rates affecting people's wallets these days, too many Americans are feeling broke.
Yes, we are. And recent research actually shows that almost 2/3 of adults here in the United States report they're living paycheck to paycheck and have no money left over after they pay their monthly bills. So how do we break the cycle? This morning, our good friend, the money coach, Lynnette Khalfani-Cox, is joining us. She's going to help us out. Good morning, Lynnette.
Hi, great to be back.
Yes, we are so glad you are back.
Yes.
Okay, so you have an easy strategy that anyone can use to stop the check-to-check dilemma. Let's talk about that one.
Right. I call it my switch and save strategy, and it's totally foolproof. Basically, it boils down to switching the stuff that you're already spending money for and spending it on less costly alternatives.
Okay.
Because honestly, sometimes you'll hear experts say, stop buying this, don't do that. So that's not realistic.
Right.
People are not going to stop spending.
Right.
So why don't you just tell them how to spend smarter and to do it in a way that they switch it up a little bit, but they save money in the process and stop living paycheck to paycheck.
I mean, come on, we're not going to stop buying food.
Yeah.
We all got to eat, right?
Exactly.
So let's look at 5 areas or things that we can switch up. The first one is prescriptions, and they can get really expensive.
That's absolutely right. The CDC says that 60% of adults in this country take prescription medicine for something. They might have high blood pressure, anxiety, diabetes, whatever. But if you're spending that money on brand name drugs, chances are you're spending about $100 a month. You can buy generic medicines, switch it up here, go from the brand name to the generic, and save 70%. You'll pay $30 a prescription instead of $100 a prescription. You'll save $840 in the year. And here's the thing, you're not sacrificing your health, okay? Because by federal law, the same active ingredients have to be in those generic medicines that are in the brand names. So that's one switch you can make.
And a lot of times we hear it's like, talk to your pharmacist, make sure that, if you've had some new medicines that you've been prescribed, make sure they're not interacting badly. But while you're on the phone, let's talk about price and see if there's another option for it, right?
All this healthcare is expensive. We know this.
So expensive. You know what else is expensive? Is keeping food in my cabinets.
Yes.
These kids just
Forget
go
about the
through
teenagers,
it.
right?
I know.
And I have one of those, my 18-year-old, oh my gosh. So, but we all have to eat, right? So one of the switches that people can make here is to stay away from the packaged, processed foods, the stuff that you're gonna see in the center of the aisles, the convenient stuff, and really gravitate more towards the healthier options, the fruits and vegetables, the whole grains, etc. Now I know some people are gonna be like, oh my God, she's trying to make me healthy. Just don't forget about that New Year's resolutions you made just like, last month.
Right.
You're like, I wanna get healthier, I wanna lose 10 pounds or whatever. So I'm trying to get you back here there a little bit, right, okay? But here's the thing, you will actually save money too. Family of 4 who's gonna do this is going to save about $1,500 over the course of a year. So make that switch. It'll really pay.
And then you get the benefit of the healthier eating on top of it.
Yes.
Okay, prescriptions, groceries, now phone service.
Yes.
And that can get out of hand quickly because they make it so easy to get a new phone and only pay $10 a month per line or whatever it ends up being.
But here's the thing. We all have a love affair with our phones, right? I mean, people love their smartphones. They want to take their selfies, they want to take, talk and text, whatever. And the average American buys a new phone like every 2 to 3 years. They're dropping $1,000 or more.
Yes.
That's way too much money. A better strategy is to switch it up by going from what's called a postpaid, a regular type of phone service, to a prepaid phone service. Way cheaper. It'll help you to stop living paycheck to paycheck. So Straight Talk Wireless has very affordable prepaid phones and no contract plans. They're as little as $25 a line. You get the family plan, you're gonna save $960 a year for your budget. And that's gonna be a long way towards stop living paycheck to paycheck.
That's huge.
Good idea.
Another big thing is that people are doing is the credit cards.
Yes.
They're sticking around, especially after the holidays.
Yes. People have not yet paid down that debt. And this is year 2. They happened in 2023. Now in 2024, we're seeing a lot of people still struggling with debt. Interest rates are high. The Fed jacked up rates, as you know, 11 times since 2022. The average credit card interest rate is above 20%. The switch here is to swap out of that high interest rate credit card that you're using, do a balance transfer, get into one of those 0% deals. If you get one for 12 months, and let's say you have $10,000 in credit card debt, you'll save $2,000 over the course of a year. So that's a switch you can make. There's websites out there, cardratings.com is one. They do the homework for you, and they'll show you where's the best deals that fit your own credit profile.
Yeah, that's big time savings right there. The last one in our list of 5 today, childcare.
Yes. Okay. So I mentioned I have an 18-year-old, so I'm past the daycare and the childcare phase.
Right.
Thank you, Lord Almighty, because that stuff was expensive. Okay,
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, daycare, $5,000, $10,000 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Nannies, 20 grand plus a year, and benefits if you're doing it right and not paying under the table. You should be doing it right. But here's a way you can do it. Switch it up by using a nanny sharing service.
Okay.
And so nanny sharing is basically when you get together with one or more other families locally, and you guys all share the cost of the nanny because she's working the same hours and taking care of the kids together collectively. It might be 2 kids, 3 kids. But this is a big money saver. You'll save, again, $5,000, $10,000 in the course of a year.
Wow.
And, you'll help your kid with socialization and other things like that. And it builds, kind of bonds. The moms or dads can kind of help out and fill in and whatnot. But nanny sharing is a really growing concept. Facebook groups offer them, local, you get on neighborhood groups and you find somebody in your neighborhood. Anybody else need a nanny you want to share? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It will save you big bucks. So all of these are strategies that people can use that are very, I'm not telling you to change your whole lifestyle here or to make it like overly complicated. I'm not saying don't ever go out to eat or we can do a whole segment later on just food stuff and how you make switches on that front. But the idea is just tweak what you're doing.
Yeah.
Switch it up and save money. You'll be so glad you did, and you'll stop living paycheck to paycheck.
Well, as you said, it's like everybody has a slightly different scenario, but if we can look at these broad categories and dig in within the prescriptions, where can you save money? Within the groceries, depending on your dietary needs, where you can save money. And it's like almost a guarantee everybody can find something in one of these categories if it applies to them for sure.
That's right. The food thing, like I said, I'm going to come back. I'll do a whole segment on that. Okay. There's so many switches you can make on the food front. Even like I tell people this, chicken. So a lot of people will buy, the cut up chicken and whatever. No, buy a whole chicken. Take 2 or 3 minutes and cut the chicken up yourself. It's so much cheaper when you do it that way. Again, shopping by price per pound or cost per unit. Way cheaper. If you're buying toilet paper or napkins, if you're buying, bread, whatever it is that you're buying, look at the unit cost. That's a very easy switch you can make. You'll start to see you're saving a lot of money. Again, brand name versus generic. Okay, you go in the store, everybody here in Texas, we know H-E-B, right? You buy the H-E-B brand cereal, salad dressing, whatever, versus a brand name manufacturer's product, you're going to save a lot of money.
And oftentimes you're getting the exact same quality.
It's the same thing, and it tastes just as good. I mean,
it adds up.
So again, my husband and I, we're great shoppers, So, and honestly, he does like most of the shopping in the household. So,
and he's right here.
Kudos to Earl.
Way to go, Earl.
Oh, right, Earl.
Absolutely.
So there's always a switch you can make, Sometimes people go, I don't have anything else in my budget to save money.
But they do.
No, you do.
You do.
You got to just think creatively, be willing to switch it up, and you'll save.
Can I just ask one more question,
Yes.
Lynnette? Would you say that a lot of these decisions also is to change your own behavior, right? It's kind of like a psychological thing, because we have attachment to, like, we love shopping or we love
our brands.
We love our brands.
Some of it absolutely is based on habits and our own kind of mental outlook. One of the things I talk about in my book, Bounce Back, is that 80% of financial decision making is emotional. There was a Nobel Prize winning economist, Daniel Kahneman. It's not my research. Daniel Kahneman came up with this. And we forget about this a lot of times, experts, we forget about the personal and personal finances. And it's real. We're all humans. We have, desires, motivations. Sometimes we're just like, I'm tired. I just want to go out to eat because I don't feel like cooking. And that's the reality.
Sometimes.
Right. That's the reality.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to give like strategies that are practical and tactical, but that show like human nature and don't try to like fight against the wind or give unrealistic, ivory tower academic wisdom that frankly ain't gonna work anyway. Right. So, so there you go.
Lynnette, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're awesome. Can people contact you?
Yes.
Where can they find you?
They can use my free financial advice site, which is askthemoneycoach.com. I'm on social media. Everything is @themoneycoach or my full name, Lynnette Khalfani-Cox. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, everything.
Anywhere they are, you
Yeah, I'm
all
on
the good.
social. I'm everywhere. Yeah, so.
Lynnette, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
Okay,
fun.
my pleasure.